Hey everybody, welcome back to Rebootleggers. This is a comedy podcast where we try to reboot just about everything under the sun. I'm Scott Owen.
We got you. I'm Frank Serra, and we got you.
We got you so good. You thought that New Year's resolution was real?
Burn.
Actually, well, yeah, like most resolutions, we made it seriously and then gave up on it after 1 week.
Almost immediately.
Just like that cigarette habit and that sugar cubes.
And I just can't stop buying puppies.
No, Frank.
I always return them, though.
Well, that's not so bad. Do you not?
It's very emotionally damaging.
This is the year. This is the year I'm gonna finally stop hurting myself with puppies.
Yeah, I guess you could say that my resolution was to stop returning them, but it
So you
happened.
just like keep buying them, and then every time you get home, it turns out that you're not allowed to have them.
Yeah, well, it's more like you're happy that you have a puppy, and then the next morning you're like, I mean, this just isn't gonna play out.
You just pooped everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Just pooped all over your bed.
Yeah.
How long does it usually?
all over.
What's the turnaround between puppies usually for you?
It usually takes a month or two for me to like forget the last one.
Wow, that's pretty. So we're talking about like somewhere in the ballpark of like 8 puppies a year for you.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty devastating.
Where do you get them from? Just like the PetSmart?
The puppy store. When I made the joke, I was not prepared for the questions.
The puppy store. Well, you know, Frank, that's just that's good improv.
PetSmart. Puppies.net.com.
I'm just going to go ahead and real quick go to puppies.net.com.
Please don't.
Puppies.com goes to puppyfind.com. All right. Your story checks out. This is a website for finding and listing puppies.
My falsity became truth.
Now I believe you.
So let's talk about children's books.
Let's talk about children and puppies
smoothly.
in children's books. We're all familiar with Shel Silverstein. Have you seen his face, by the way?
No, the Shell Man, the Shellster.
So we're going to do the Giving Tree today, everybody. But Frank, if you don't look him up, I will send you a picture of him. But based on the fact that he is a children's book writer, just give me, what do you think he probably looks like?
He's got like a Santa beard, probably.
Okay.
And kind eyes.
Okay.
And I think he's probably got like a pencil over his ear, like all the time. And like a Cosby sweater. I should have said Cosby. A Mr. Rogers sweater.
This is what he looks like.
Is any of that?
I've sent you a picture. This is what he looks like.
That is, that's a man on the edge, is the way I would put that.
He's a man. Now, let me show you a picture of him not making a scary face. And he actually looks nice. Like, he looks like... Oh,
okay, yeah. He looks like someone's, like, cool dad who gets them, like, on weekends.
Yeah, or, like, cool uncle who, like, gets them on weekends.
Yeah, like, it's...
He's like the
He looks like he has fun, but then sends them back to the parents for the responsible stuff.
He looks like he has fun, but sometimes if you do just the wrong thing, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Not to imply that he is like abusive, but it's just
but it's serious. Like, you know, he'll let you stay up to watch the movie. Mm-hmm. But like you better don't abuse the privilege.
Don't abuse the privilege.
So anyway, The Giving Tree is a book that he wrote.
Yeah, so it's about a tree.
We're gonna get our way into the actual episode, kicking and screaming.
So it's about a female tree, which did not know that trees.
Yeah,
were gendered.
I mean, as far the actual pages of the book, I don't know if they strictly specify that.
I don't know either.
So it's about a female tree and then a little boy. And the boy visits the tree whenever he's at an emotional crisis in his life.
Or it's more just whenever he wants something.
Yeah, and, you know, the tree will, like, give him, like, an apple, or, like, drop a branch. Like, it helps him with things as he grows up.
The boy is very giving, or the tree is very giving. The boy is a taking person. So in his childhood, the boy just plays with the tree and loves the tree and just eats the apples, has a wonderful time just loving the tree because it's a tree. Mm-hmm. And then when the boy grows older, he only visits when he needs things. So when he's a young man, the tree gives him apples, which he can use to turn into money. And then the boy comes in and he's like, I want a house. So she's like, here, have my branches so that you can.
It's a big tree to do that, by the way, with the branches.
Such a big tree. And then later the boy's like, I want to make a boat. And the tree's like, here, have my trunk, which is.
Yeah, he just chops the entire
thing down for his boat. And then at the end, every time the tree gives him something, it says like the tree was happy. And the boy's just like, peace. And then the boy comes back as an old man and feels bad about how much he took. And the tree is really unhappy because the tree is a stump. And then the boy shows up and is like, I just want somewhere.
He's an old
He's so
man.
old. He's so old. He's like, I just want somewhere to sit and rest. And the tree's like, I can do that. I'm a stump.
Because there are no chairs in his house.
Sit your good buns down on me, buddy. And then the man
and then the tree and the man are happy. They're both happy.
I think the man probably dies.
I think he dies on the stump. Not sure if that's actually in the book, but it's what I always imagined would happen.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of wiggle room for this story.
Yeah, there's a lot of interpretations of like, is the boy selfish? Is the tree manipulative?
Is the tree Jesus?
Yeah, is the tree Mother Earth and humanity is
humanity,
and the little boy represents like pollution? Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, a lot of people taking the kid's book and making it a grown-up's book. So I guess the first thing that we want to talk about is the way what format we want to port this relationship into, or where we have the...
I think we make it into a movie, because that's easiest.
I'm down with movies, and we really... There's not enough original properties in theaters nowadays. It's all sequels and prequels and
reboots,
squeakquels,
and book adaptations.
Well, I skipped reboots because that's what we're doing.
I know,
but if you want to say it,
I said it.
So we have a tree that gives,
and a boy that takes.
It says it's happy, but only it knows if that's true.
Well, I think the first big detail about this is the tree is sentient and also.
It does talk to the boy.
I think it can speak and it can move. It like hands him apples with its branches and stuff.
So he's some kind of generous ent, essentially.
A generous ent. Now, hello.
Now I feel like maybe we found the title.
Hello, good title. The generous ent.
The generous ent.
Now, did Tolkien invent ents?
I think he was the one that named them Ents, but I think...
Tree people was a thing.
Tree people. Or, like, we can use the WoW term, the, like, treant.
Treant. Yeah. Is treant a WoW term or a real term? Let me get to
I guess it's a real...
Let me get to the Google.
I'm just going to Google this really quick.
Treant, a fictional creature found in Dungeons and Dragons, means it's gonna...
So it's from the 70s.
Gotta come from something else, though, right?
Yeah.
No? Only WoW. All right. So treant is based on an ent. But here's the thing most people don't realize about Tolkien. He actually stole most everything from Norse mythology.
Yeah, like, for instance, did you know that Aragorn is, if you rearrange the letters, in Jesus Christ?
Yeah, there's that. But also, like, Gandalf is a dwarf in Norse mythology. Like, all these things that he comes up with, a lot of it is from Norse mythology, and it works because nobody knew about Norse mythology yet because it was the 30s.
So, do you think that the giving ent is
the generous ent?
What'd I say? Yeah. Do you think that the generous ent is alone in the world, or that he's kind of a rebel to the other non-generous?
I think he's a rogue ent who lives with people and is for some reason rooted to the ground, like he can't move his legs.
Yeah, like maybe he broke his legs. And then, like, humans were nice to him.
Okay.
And then there's other ents that aren't generous.
Mm-hmm.
Is this anything? Are we?
I think there might be something there. I'm thinking, what if this is a modern day world where ents exist? Like, most fantasy worlds are, like middle-aged times. Mm-hmm. And by middle-aged, I mean the Middle Ages.
The Middle Age, yeah. The middle of the ages.
Yeah, like medieval.
Yeah, so then this is kind of a world where, like, when you need to make paper, you have to, like, hey, are you up? And then if the tree doesn't answer, then you can chop it down.
So
Like, just in case it's sentient.
But okay, I was concerned you
So
were
you just,
asking
like,
if the tree is
you just
awake
get it,
or
you
not.
just-
So as long
you
as
just-
the tree is asleep, you can chop it.
You just
Hey, you a thing? Oh, no answer.
no, and then you just bring down the.
What if maybe in this that we? When was the last time we did a dystopia, Frank?
It's been a while.
Has it?
I think it's been a few months, and I think it's okay for us to come back to kind of a YA dystopian story.
Okay, so what if all the Ents have been harvested?
So we're in a world of gears and iron.
Gears and iron, and one Ent has remained. Or maybe we're in a world where so many Ents had been harvested, the Ents are finally like, no, screw this. We're no longer helping, and so Ents
They just all leave.
They either leave or they're like antagonistic and angry, and the bad guys.
They literally get up and go, and now there's like no more trees
except the one who has stayed behind and is the generous Ent.
So we have, just to review, this is now the Generous Ent, City of Gears and Iron Part 1.
Mm-hmm. The City of Gears and Iron is the overall like series.
Is the series.
Yeah. And the Generous Ent is Part 1 of that series for sure.
So we have obviously our main character is going to be the boy. Now, do we want to get super artsy with it and like he's just called the boy and everyone in the movie just says like, "Hey, you"?
That is very artsy. That is very artsy, and I don't hate it. He's just credited as the boy.
The boy.
So
like I'm trying to think of it like I know that this has happened in other.
Yeah, so this won't be an action dystopia, is what I'm feeling from this vibe.
I think it's gonna be it's gonna be like an emotional relational.
Very emotional.
I think the boy. See, we have to be careful now because the boy is the taker.
The boy is the taker.
The boy doesn't want anyone else to find the Generous Ent because the Ent gives him things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if anyone else found out about the Generous Ent, they would come and chop the tree down.
Right. So maybe.
But in the end, he ends up chopping the tree down, and it's like, what was this all for?
Yeah, the Generous Ent is into it at the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
He's like, yeah, chop me down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's like actively excited.
He's like, yeah, f me up with that axe, buddy.
Mm.
But so what? Yeah, what is this boy's deal? Why does he have this Generous Ent? Does the Generous Ent get chopped down in this Part 1?
I think he won't get. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he will get chopped down in Part 1.
Maybe he will. But maybe when he gets chopped down, his top half then can walk. It's a twist.
Oh, or it was all a trick.
He doesn't. Oh, okay.
I just kind of instinctually said it was a trick,
now
but I
the Generous
really
Ent
liked
is
it.
Satan.
The Generous Ent has a subtle plan in the works.
The Generous Ent is now like a sleeper cell trying to get himself chopped free.
Yes. So he is the Generous Ent, but there's no free lunch in the City of Gears and Iron.
All right. So let me back this up.
Mm-hmm.
Ants,
let's review.
Ants have been enslaved into entire forests where everybody knows. So the Ents can no longer like walk around or anything, and just everyone knows whether they still know that the Ents are intelligent necessarily, or if they just, this is how it's always been done, so this is how we do it, but only harvest the branches.
Yeah.
Because if you harvest, if you chop a whole tree down, then now the Ent can walk around because it is separated from the earth.
Yeah, and like everyone knows that.
So the Generous Ent is maybe the Generous Ent. So so in general, nobody has trees in their yards or anything, but this very
because they're all in the forests.
Like the king of the city has a tree because he's very wealthy and he's trying to project an image of.
And then the boy visits that tree.
Yes,
it's like a publicly available tree.
Okay, I don't think it's publicly available. I think maybe the boy sneaks in. Maybe the boy is
he sneaks into the king's garden?
He's like an urchin.
Yes.
He's like an urchin. Yeah. He sneaks into the king's garden. Nobody knows the king's got an Ent.
Yeah, because there's still non-sentient trees. They're just like probably extinct. So everyone is told that the king's palace has the last non-sentient tree.
Or just nobody knows about it at all. Like, the king keeps it secret. And the boy,
well, I mean, if it's like a tree, like it's...
Well, I mean, maybe he's got very, very high walls.
He has like a 20-foot high, like hexagonal kind of space in the middle of the palace that gets some sunlight.
Rich. He's very rich.
Yeah.
And so the boy sneaks in for other reasons, maybe to thief, because he needs gotta steal to eat.
Gots to thief from the royals.
And so then he finds the tree.
Let's pause. Is this still like modern 2000s?
It is future for sure.
So there's like, I mean, so you know how, like, are there like, does the boy have to worry about?
I mean, it's the city of iron
like,
and gears, Frank. It's gotta be future. There are cameras, but you know that's always a risk of being a thief.
Yeah.
So maybe he's thieving. All right, this story's coming together for me.
Oh, there's like a leaf on the ground. He's never seen nature before.
He's never seen nature. He lives in the city of iron and gears.
He lives in the city of
iron and gears.
Is it gears and iron.
Gears and iron.
Which way? What? It's gears and iron.
Yeah, you want two syllables to be the second word.
Yeah.
Cities of gears and iron and fire? Nah, just gears and iron.
Gears and iron.
And go on. Do you want to add fire to the city?
No, but I have an idea for future parts in the series.
Okay, we'll get there. Can I?
So think in a Mad Max-ish way. Every city left on Earth is a sprawling metropolis that has one specialty. So this is the so the city of Gears and Iron is still the name of the series.
But then there's also a city of fire.
There's also the city of Ash, which is like ore and like metal and like junk like that.
That's where all the foundries are.
It's where all the foundries are. Like think, you know, like Saruman's whole setup.
Yeah.
But like there's like city specialties where you're right now you're in the city of Gears and Iron,
like
which
Mega
is where
Man
like
levels.
Complex machinery and factories are.
It's like a bunch of different Mega Man levels. But the rest of the world is not Mad Max. Like the rest of the world is.
It's not like I just meant like in the way of specialized cities.
Right. Okay. So I'm thinking the boy sneaks into King's palace to thief, and he gets caught. Like he gets seen by guards and stuff, and so he runs away.
Guard droids.
He goes to hide in this crazy room, this crazy door, which he opens it, and it turns it like there's a giant tree in the middle. But he's like, "What the hell?" The robots chase him in, and they're about to kill him. And then tree branches descend and kill all the robots.
Oh, I was just thinking that tree branches like hug him, and then their sensors are like the only life form is the tree.
I want the tree to kill the robots.
Why would it? Well, so I think there has to be a couple. I think there has to be something in the middle. So I think the boy.
I think the tree's protecting the boy either way, right?
Well, yeah. But this is what I mean is that there needs to be a reason. So the boy gets into the tree like a few minutes before the guards find the tree room. Mm-hmm. So then, like something happens between the boy and the tree that makes the tree want to protect this boy because otherwise it doesn't care.
Okay.
So why? So like something like the boy.
Well, and then if the robots are dead, then people will be like, "Hey, who destroyed the robots?"
Yeah.
Although the tree could just take the robots unto itself into the earth.
So I think like there's like he's like what are you or whatever.
He's like, you saved me. Right? And instead of talking, I think maybe just like words appear in the bark or something. Maybe I don't know. I don't want just like a booming voice coming out of this tree.
No. I like.
I mean, it could be mind voice.
It could just be mind voice because that's kind of that's the no special effects version.
Maybe at first they can't talk, but then the tree like plants a seed in the boy's brain. That's gross.
No. How about it just gives him
Bluetooth?
Well, okay, so I literally was going to say he like it like sticks like a little branch with a leaf like in his hair and then they can talk.
Yeah, maybe we'll just go. It's like a tree antenna. He's like, so at first he's panicking because the tree sucked him inside itself and he's like, shit, I'm gonna die. And then the robots leave and then the tree lets him out and he's like, oh, you saved me.
Yeah, and then he's like, you want these, boy? And like pulls out a bunch of lug nuts from his pocket.
And the tree's like, hell no, I'm not.
And the tree's like, yeah, fucking gobble those.
Oh, so the tree does like eating lug nuts.
Well, because so this is like, I mean, this is thousands of years in the future, right? So I feel like in order to survive, this tree is able to actually absorb metals.
Oh, I thought maybe just the king was so rich that he could afford to water it.
Oh, like dirt? Well, I mean, like, I think you always need water.
And he's got dirt, like, too.
Yeah. But like dirt has like iron in it and stuff, right? Like I mean, I'm not a treeologist.
So is this tree like a cyborg tree now?
No. It just has like very good bark.
That has okay.
Like very resilient. It's a very resilient tree now.
I see. Okay, so then
the battle armor will come into play at a later time.
Oh, the tree can make him armor. That'll be one of the things it gives.
It'll be like a druid dryad, like hard as metal, but it's wood armor.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So he.
Yeah. Let's start lining up. I think gifts.
Well, so I just want to finish like general bullet points. So he's gonna leave and come back. He's gonna keep visiting the tree because he's intrigued. He's gonna keep visiting the tree, and then maybe just the tree will start telling him truth, like things about the king. Maybe there's got to be other characters. Maybe.
I think the boy might not care about.
What I want is eventually. So the boy's gonna care about the tree so much that he chops it down, right?
Yeah.
To free it. Like, does the boy know that he's freeing it, or does the boy think he's gonna kill it?
I'm not sure yet. I kind of like if the tree was tricking him the whole time.
Right. I want him to be tricking him. I don't know if I want him to be tricking him into, like, oh, now that you intentionally freed me, I can kill everyone, or, oh, you thought you were killing me, but now I'm free.
But now I'm free to go back to my people or something. Like, I'm going to lead a revolution. Come with me.
Yeah, maybe.
Or don't.
Maybe we go that way.
Yeah. So the boy has a goal, right? We can do.
The boy's goal eventually becomes to free the tree.
Well, no. So the boy is taking gifts from the tree to reach an end goal, right?
I think those.
So we could go Aladdin with it, where he just wants to like be good enough for the king's daughter or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Where he gets Prince Ali'd by the tree over time.
That's pretty good.
We could not go Aladdin with it either. We could just say that the boy, like...
He's got something he needs, and he goes... So, first, he has no idea... Like, he doesn't even know the tree can give him things, maybe, and so the second time he visits the tree, he starts telling about his life, and then he just is complaining about this problem he has, and then the tree, like, just drops an apple.
Drops an apple because he's so hungry or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he realizes, like... So then the next time he comes back, he's like, hey... do you think you could help me with this? And the tree's like, yeah, dude, take my bark. And the next time he's like, hey, and tree's like, art way ahead of you. Here's a bow staff.
Way ahead of you. Whatever your problem is, I have given you this bow staff.
Yeah. But it's like a really cool bow staff that can like extend and collapse.
So we're shaping the boy up to grow up and be a warrior.
Yeah, and so because it's hard living in the city of gears and iron, Frank.
Mm-hmm. Because the gears never shut up, and iron is like not the best metal.
And I imagine outside the palace district, it's probably like a dog-eat-dog world out there. There's probably roving gangs, and so he's maybe got this like living on his own, fighting the street toughs.
Oh, he gets in bad with like a gang that wants money or something.
Maybe
he makes his own gang. Is this a street gang movie?
Is he recruiting orphans? Is he rescuing orphans?
Like is he using the tree like the tree gives him info on like where guard rotations will be or something?
Is he just part of a is there a band of rebels that the boy wants to join and he uses the tree to like get in with them?
Okay, like he needs to catch the attention of the cog smashers.
The monkey wrenches.
The monkey wrenches.
Because you put a monkey wrench in the gears, you know?
Because you put a wrench in the... Yeah.
Maybe they're just called the wrench.
The wrench?
The wrench.
Okay, I can, yeah.
Now, Frank, I have to ask, is wrench an acronym?
It's gotta be, right? It's gotta be.
Wild rebels enjoying...
Nightly
calamity crushing
hierarchies.
Yeah. The hierarchy. You could say the hierarchy.
Nightly crushing havocs.
We're just crushing havoc over here.
They're called crushing havoc.
Just crushing havoc. Doing it so
Cry
good.
havoc and let slip the cogs of war.
Oh, the cogs of war. You gotta watch out for those.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe...
So he's heard stories, right, of these people who, like, don't grind the gears of society. I don't know. We'll just throw in a lot of, like, machinery puns.
I just feel like what could this... What problems is the boy coming to the tree with? Like, I kind of like the idea of the boy just, like... His very first problem, he's just like, nobody respects me because... Or, like, something. Or maybe he's just like, I'm so hungry. And the tree's like, bloop.
Yeah, I think it's just like, I'm so hungry. Like, here's some food, yo.
And then later he comes back and he's like, I wish I had some plates and cups.
Oh, my lean-to hovel keeps collapsing, and it prints like a I can't think of the word. It prints like a small scaffolding for him to hang his blankets over.
Maybe he complains that he's just like, oh, it's been a rough week. The hovel burned down, and then it's just like it just pops some branches. It's like, here, build a new one.
Like, build a new one, yo.
Stop bitching at me.
And then I think he is seen with like wooden material, which is of course rare in the city of Gear and Iron.
Yeah, and that catches the attention.
And I think that some other street gang just like beats the shit out of him and like takes all of his wood.
Does he get a cool wooden sword, or does he just have? But that somehow.
Well,
still
that's
sharp?
not at this point. So then he says like, I need to be able to protect myself.
Yeah.
And the tree gives him a sweet bow staff.
Sweet bow staff, and at some point he will get a wooden sword that can still cut things.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know it. Maybe it's like a wooden sword,
so
but it's got a metal edge.
Does he find like a master?
No, I think he just trains himself. The tree trains him.
We'll figure out. I think the wrench will train him, right?
I think the tree trains him. I think the tree. So the tree can.
Oh!
The tree. Here's what happens. The tree descends like its very long branches and weaves them into this like mannequin kind of, but the mannequin can move around.
I was gonna do. Here's what I was gonna do, which is I was gonna copy Prince Zuko and Aang learning from the dragons in Avatar. So like the wind blows and like the tree's branches blow and the boy starts like copying the motions.
That's pretty good too. And he fights like a bunch
of branches
you got, like, your
Mulan sequence.
He fights the branches at once, like a ton of branches at once. And
gets
really
he's
good.
he's just like deflecting them and they're all whipping around and stuff.
Yeah. So the tree.
So for I think this is our time skip for like 5 years. The tree trains the boy or whatever until he's like a strong man.
And the boy
now.
takes and takes. And
there's he's just like chomping on apples and then like breaking branches off with the bow staff and stuff. Like he doesn't care about the tree.
Hey Frank.
Yeah.
I have a radical idea, and it will change a lot if we go with this. But what if the boy is the prince of this kingdom? And the tree room is forbidden to ever enter into. You should never go in there. One day, of course, he goes in there, learns that the tree is good and friendly, starts realizing that his father is bad, and so then he starts training in secret to create the wrench, which will bring down the city of cogs and iron. Gears and iron.
I like that a lot. All right, so So he's not a street kid. I think the wrench still finds out about them, but it's because of rumblings about like something gets out about the prince being rebellious.
He knows about the wrench because he's the prince, and then eventually he decides like to reach out to the wrench, and he's like, I can help you, and they're like, screw you. What about this too?
The wrench is like, you're tricking us to the prince, and the prince says I'm not, but then the tree is tricking the prince the whole time.
I think maybe at first too the prince does kind of suck. Like he's a snooty rich boy.
Oh yeah, I think he's like a dingbat boy.
And then he comes to learn that the tree is more than just give me these things.
It's like, you're a person. So he says like, how can I repay you?
He promises to free the tree.
He says, how can I like repay you? And the tree says like, my mission is done. Like, chop me down.
Chop me down, daddy.
And the boy's like crying. Daddy? He's like, oh, because the tree is his real father.
That'll be what starts the revolution. Oh,
spiritually though, not physically.
Okay, Frank. The tree has been holding these cards close to its chest the whole time. The generous ent. My mistake. It's
the generous ent. Yeah, we've been mixing our
which basically looks like a big tree.
It's just a big tree.
And
there's no like Pocahontas face in the bark.
No, there's no face in the bark. The tree tells the boy that the reason his father is rich and is able to control everything is because it's been taken from the tree. So it's like, if you want to bring your father down, you need to chop me down. And the boy thinks, I'm killing the tree, but this is necessary and what the tree wants. And then the tree's like, surprise, I can walk around and fuck shit up.
Literally, he just books it. And this thing's going like 50 miles an hour.
Does he take the boy with him?
No, he runs without the boy, but the boy finds him to join him.
In book 2. Movie
in
2.
book 2. He says he said, it's like, where are you going, Prince? Like, your highness? And then he just kind of looks out over and with the horizon and is like, I'm going after my friend, the tree.
So, my friend, the tree.
The tree.
I think maybe
I'm going after that generous ant.
I think maybe before the generous ant leaves, it does kill the king. Because we got to have a reason that we go to a new city. Like, we defeated this captain. Let's get to the next one.
Mm-hmm. Because there's 8 captains.
There's 8 captains. So
and then the 4 god kings.
Of course, yes. So okay, so the boy starts like, he realizes like, this is not a good way for people to live. My father should not be doing this to people. I want to join the rebellion. Okay, we have a plan, but I didn't want to do this before because it'll kill the tree, and I love the tree, but we have to do this. And the tree is like, yes, kill me. Kill me.
And yeah, he just like, all the branches like wilt, and it's just like, dig that beefy boy into me.
Chop.
Because of the axe.
Chop me up good.
Yeah, I think the tree makes an axe for the boy to use.
So that's what they have to do, because the boy maybe the boy gets discovered before this thing, and so then they have to have like a battle where they storm the palace to get to the tree to chop it down.
Oh yeah, he says like, don't let them get me, like chop me down now.
Yeah, the boy, like, he gets
like,
found
I'd rather
out.
be dead than captured.
The boy gets found out, or maybe the boy doesn't get found out, but he's just like, he finds out there's a plan to destroy the palace, and he's like, but I'm not at the palace, I have to get there to save the tree. So then he goes kind of rogue from the wrench to get to the palace on his own.
Oh.
And he brings like a ragtag group with him who all think that he's great.
Like people with like goggles, and then there's one dude that has like a backpack with helicopter blades to fly.
Yeah, and then there's like a girl who's good with computers, and one girl has like 5 swords, and another guy has like
and then one other guy
bars.
can, like, his body is made of rubber. Are we just doing One Piece characters?
No, I was doing like regular people who have things.
Okay. Because the guy with 5 swords is from One Piece.
Oh, I did not know that. He has 5 swords, huh?
He has his mouth and then his feet, yeah.
Wow. And he fights with all of them at the same time?
I mean, he uses them, but it's not like he doesn't make like one 5-sworded strike.
Right, but during a fight, he has 5 swords
Yeah,
out.
he'll maneuver around with them.
That is really dumb and interesting.
I mean,
I don't hate it.
If you're into One Piece. I mean, I'm not, but...
Okay, so then there's the battle for the city. The boy has to get to the tree because he's like, what do I do? How can I save you? And the tree's like...
Oh, yeah, like, I think the entire time the tree has been giving him the ideas for the rebellion and stuff, too. Mm-hmm. Like, I want it to be clear that the tree is, like, who is secretly orchestrating all of the boy's, like, actions. Like,
yes.
The boy thinks he's making choices, but he's not.
Yeah. Oh, so does the boy realize that, and then in a fit of, like, he feels betrayed, so then he chops down the tree because he's like, you're not good at all, you're evil.
Oh, and that's obviously
what he wants.
The generous ant wants.
Ooh, I could go either way on that. It could be the boy is like, I have to kill you because my dad uses you to enslave others, or he could be like, I have to kill you because I'm so upset at you. Either way, the tree's going free.
The tree's just like, wacha, wacha, wacha. The tree lets its branches sag and says like, bite me with your sword, bite me with your gears of iron. He says something like the title of the movie.
Take me away from this city of gears and iron.
Gears of iron. Get rid of your gears and throw away your iron.
There will be no more the generous ent.
Yeah.
No longer will I be a generous ent, the city of gears and iron.
The City of Gears and Iron Part 1.
Yeah. Brought to you by New Line Cinemas.
Oh, this would definitely be New Line.
An NBCW yeah, we'd have a title card at the beginning for
we'd
sure.
Have an exec. We'd have an exec produce credit.
Mm-hmm. And then book 2 is City of Fire. Movie 2, I keep taking
the City of Ash.
City of Ash.
Because that sounds a little better.
City of Drugs.
City of Drugs, that's part 3.
City of Bones for sure. Even
I think City of Dreams is part 3, but because it's all they do is make drugs for the rest of the
City
world.
of Dreams is the drug city. How about City
Yeah.
of Bones, which is like Pound Town?
Yeah, and we just have a Mortal Instruments crossover.
Oh shoot, that's called City of Bones. Is that a city about sex though?
No, but probably ours will be. But it's about sex, but also has all the graveyards in the other part of town.
Yeah, I guess.
It's kind of like a birth and death cycle.
Gross. I don't know that
That's
I like
where like
that.
all the babies come from.
I'm not into that. I don't think.
So we need 8, right? Is that 4?
Well, I think some you'll encounter 2 captains maybe. There'll be one book where it's been like, well, since the last one. Why do I keep calling them books? They're movies. You'd be like, since
they are movies,
we'll definitely adapt. Maybe we'll do them at the same time. But there'll be one.
We'll do a reverse adaptation where we also make YA books, but pretend that they're the source for the movie.
There'll be one that starts where you find out they just killed one of the captains between movies.
Oh yeah, and like super like the boy wiped his forehead. Thank God we got that guy.
Maybe it happens in movie 2. It's like it jumps forward 5 years and he's like deep into the rebellion and they've had a couple big victories and now we're going to the city of Ash.
I like that a lot.
And we haven't he hasn't heard from the generous Ent. Like nobody has. It seems like nothing happened, and then of course 5 years later, like in movie 2,
the generous Ent
shows up with more Ents to take down the city of Ash or something.
Mm-hmm. The city of stones.
City of Stones. That'll be a city for sure.
City of.
What else do we need? I mean, I feel like
he also at some point has like the sweet ironbark armor.
Yo, yeah, you know it.
Because we're making those toys.
Yes, ironbark armor, iron swords, or ironbark swords.
Ironbark
but here's the thing,
swords.
because you had previously established that the hardy trees in this future dystopia can use metal and minerals as nourishment. He can then create it can create weapons that do have like a metal edge to them. It's like it's like this good hard wood sword, but the edge is cool and metal and shiny.
It's like a shing.
It would look very cool.
Yeah,
I'm into the idea. I'm picturing this sword in my mind, and it looks so cool. It looks kind of like a Lord of the Rings sword a little bit, like a Hobbit sword, but bigger with those curves.
Yeah, and then when you grab the handle, like some branches and roots
stick into
go
your
around
arm.
your wrist
for good leverage.
They just wrap around it for like good.
And you can never be disarmed.
Yeah, well, not until you choose to put it down.
Yeah, of course. Natch. Maybe it's like a
and then there's a part. Oh,
is it like the grass sword from Adventure
Scott.
Time, where he can like summon it and dismiss it, and when he dismisses it, it's just like a bracelet of
like
branches around his arm?
It's probably like a thick bracer because it's got a lot of mass. Yeah. But so I definitely want only the boy and the generous Ent can do this. I want this to be special. But the boy and the generous Ent can make a Megazord. The boy goes into the heart of the tree.
Of course they can make a Megazord.
And then he becomes like a giant, angry, wooden metal man.
That won't happen till the last book, though. Or the last movie.
No. Yeah, he doesn't make Tree Voltron until like the final end of the series.
Oof. And all his buddies get their own generous Ents.
You know that the God King of the City of Gears and evil things.
The City of Smoke.
He says like...
The God King lives in the City of Smoke.
So he has a metal automaton that he gets in.
Yeah, and then...
That's like an actual Megazord, or like Voltron, and he's like, "You can't defeat me." And then the generous Ent is like, "Get in me," and like opens up his trunk.
Me. Do all the boys, rebel like close friends, get their own generous Ents?
Yes, but I think we just don't go too deeply into.
No,
that.
they don't have a character or anything. It's just at the end they're like,
Yeah,
"And here's your own."
Their...
Because you said Voltron, so I felt like it's got to be multiples. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Megazord is also like, multiples coming together, but I want to go more Megazord than Voltron, because in Voltron they're all lions. In Megazord it's many different beasts, and so
we're talking spruce tree, elm tree.
His buddies get different Ent creatures. So like only the boy has like a humanoid Ent.
Oh.
Somebody else has like a tiger made out of trees. Someone else has like
twisting vines,
a blue whale made out of trees.
Man, we got to get like some like good Fox LucasArts CGI for this.
Yes, this is going to cost a lot of money. I think we can get it though, because here's the thing: they made Ready Player One into a movie. And The Giving
And
Tree
we're
is
already
more
better
beloved
than
than
that.
Ready Player One.
Yeah. The Giving Tree, like, so you go to a meeting with marketing people and you're like, we want to make The Giving Tree a movie, and they say no, and it's like, wow, you hate children?
Right. So you hate love and everything that is good and pure.
And you're filming the whole thing, and the dude goes like, oh no, you can have $1 billion.
And so we've got them in the bag, as it were. Do we need anything else for this episode?
No, I mean, I think our next visit on the City of Gears and Iron series will fix anything we missed.
The Gears and Bones.
Bones and Iron.
Bones and Iron. All right, well, thank you everybody so much for listening to Rebootleggers. Sorry if we tricked you too hard and we've upset you. Sorry if you were really looking forward to a more serious podcast going from here on out, but that's not to say we won't do more serious reboots, because I actually had a really good time with The Flash, and maybe we'll do some more like that in the future. But I think The Giving Tree, aka The Generous Ant, is good. Like, I'm pumped for it. I don't know about Frank.
Yeah, I can't wait to read the books.
It's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. So, as always, please, if you like the show, please hit us up on iTunes and give us a good rating and review. That helps us a ton. We've gotten a few people who've done that, and I really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much. It's so nice of you. Everyone else, like, why do you hate us? Until next time, I'm Scott Owen.
I'm Frank Serra.
Frank, what's our password for next week?
Our password for next week is The Tree Was Happy.